Hello everybody, Michigan Doodle Rescue Connect, showing you how to get through your COVID-19 no groomer available cut. Dogs are growing for some reason faster than ever, and we want to show you a quick way to trim your doodle. So we have Coconut here, who is a 5-year-old, almost 5-year-old, Pyrenees poodle mix, so she's a pure doodle, and her coat is very fine. She is a big shedder. So in this cut, we're going to comb out the head. We've already done a lot of blowout and combing prior to, but we're going to comb this all forward. We're bringing this entire cut forward on the head. So we want to make sure everything is in a line, combed through properly before we put the clippers through. We're going to use the Andes clippers, and we're going to use the C attachment, and we're going to begin at the base of the skull and move in a forward motion. This will be a teddy bear cut. This is pretty popular with a lot of the doodles. Pretty easy for you to grasp and understand. So if you pay attention, I'm just moving forward, watching the ears because I like her ears long and wispy. I call it the Farrah look. I just absolutely love those long wispy ears. So you'll go ahead and use those clippers to move forward and kind of fading into the front. You don't want to take it all the way through the front bang area. The tail is extremely important, and again, I use the Crown Royale grooming spray. It's a great spray to use on the dogs, all dogs, and it does help me get through their coat. I also use their shampoo line. So you're going to want to brush through that properly. And then I usually take the base of the tail, bring it all the way straight down to the bottom, and at just after the bone, then I go ahead and make a nice straight cut. I love that look. I think the dogs have a more finished look. We're going to take the trimmers and we're going to take the trimmers with a guard attachment and clean the sanitary area. And you're going to want to miss the bum area and just make sure that you're not hitting anything on your dog. Make sure you know where everything's at. And you'll just want to make sure you clean that up nice and neat. I usually go in a nice downward motion, just kind of creating a V look. And then you'll want to clean, remove the guard and clean out the bottom of the feet in the pads. The hair tends to build up. If you get caught where there's a piece that has buildup on it, just use your shears and take it right off. Don't be afraid. You do have to kind of go slow with your dog, a little at a time. You don't want to do too much to your dog if they're not used to you handling them. Putting them up on a table and providing them with stability, maybe somebody else holding them and distracting them, something like peanut butter on the wall, something that's going to help you get through. I also remove the top of the hair at the bottom of the pad just because I find that it does really bring in a ton of dirt. So I really clean that up high in the back. And I'll show you there. So just spreading the feet apart, making sure that you have a good grasp of your dog's foot and just kind of doing a sweeping motion. Don't worry about these. These are not going to cut your dog. So again, just cleaning up the pads to keep everything neat and clean. as possible is beneficial. You're ready to begin adding your attachment. You're going to use the A attachment on your Andes. It's a wall attachment. So you'll go ahead and begin shaving your dog. We're removing quite a bit of the coat, but at the same time, we're leaving a lot of the coat. And you'll want to go straight down the back to about the rib cage area, and then you'll want to go on an angle and never go backwards. Always keep moving in the same direction, down and straight back. You'll notice that I'm lifting up her head, and I will eventually get to underneath her chin. I'm going to lift up her head, and I'll go ahead and make sure I have a good trim in that area. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue to remove most of the coat. Stay focused in your areas. If your dog gets bored or you can tell that they're getting antsy, move. You're going to have to get your dog used to your grooming abilities and how you hold your tools and what you do. This is pretty interesting. So taking the tail and moving it down so that you have the ability to get a nice clean cut with that tail. So tucking it in while you're grooming is good. That ends up with a nice, you want to fade this. You want to give them a nice clean bum area. So just fading it into the tail, because we don't want a big, huge tail bottom with that coat. Again, you're moving in a downward motion. You're just using a sweeping motion with your clippers. Don't drag them too far. Your hair can get caught up in there. We do want to work the legs. You'll take the legs out. Some of the hair tends to be not as long for some reason as the rest of the coat. But you can just take your scissors and kind of neaten it up. Again, this is your dog. You don't have to try to impress your neighbors right now. Nobody's really seeing you. So during this COVID-19, we're just trying to get by and make sure that our dogs are neat and clean and groomed, so that when your groomer does go back to work, that they have a dog that they can work with at ease, that they don't have to sit there and shave all those dogs. Shaving is a lot of work. So we definitely want to take care of our dogs in the meantime, and this will definitely allow you to do that. So cleaning this back end area is really important. Otherwise, you'll end up with a big bum area. Don't want that. You'll want to clean up their feet nice and neat, making sure that you're getting every bit of hair shaved off and cleaned off. Again, this is a Great Pyrenees poodle mix, so it is a pure doodle. Big shedders, big shedders, big barkers. Know your breed before you adopt or buy a dog, because these are definitely diggers, barkers, and shedders, but they're sweet dogs. So you'll notice that I'm using this spray here. I'm going to put the blow dryer on just to kind of fluff everything out, which allows me to kind of see where I may have missed anything, where it's longer. And so I'll probably take the clippers right through that again if I notice that there's any bad spots that I may need to get. Just kind of putting the comb through the head. I'm looking for anything possible that I may have missed or that I could take care of. So we'll definitely want to make sure that we get that taken care of. So with this teddy bear look, I use the thinning shears for the head area, and I will also use the curve shears just to kind of get through to see if there's anything that I may have missed. It's so important to get that beautiful round look on their head, and I definitely have enjoyed grooming my dogs. We do cut a panel underneath their ear, showing you here where we keep it nice and clean. They're just kind of creating a nice jawline here with the hair. And then when the ear flap goes over, it just is a nice, comes together so nice. And shaping this around the jowls, the cheeks, it's important not to have too much of a puff. We definitely want to make sure that we clean that up a bit too. Cutting the feet can be tricky for some people because their dog wants to move. If you lift the dog's foot up and you just cut the natural round part of the dog's foot, you'll kind of get the idea of the look of the dog. And again, this is your dog. And there's no better time to practice because nobody's going to see your dog during COVID-19. So while we're all in the stay home, stay put mode, you might as well go ahead and make a few mistakes and learn along the way. There's no better way to learn than just to make a couple of mistakes, and then you can learn from them. So it's a great opportunity for you and your dog to bond. Again, whatever you didn't get with your clippers, you can just kind of go back through and neaten up with a pair of shears. And there's no right or wrong with this. I've been doing this for 7 years, and I'm still learning. So don't worry about people judging you, and don't worry about any kind of mistakes that you've made. You'll go back and you won't make them again. In the tail area, just making sure that everything blends nice. We don't want anything too much there on the top. And again, checking the jowls on the other side. Just making sure that there's a good balance. The thinning shears around the visor area is always best because then you don't have you don't have too many cuts. So there she is. Again, just blowing her out and just trying to see if I've missed anything again. I think she did pretty good today. And, we're showing here that you have to protect their ears from the blower. So just get all that loose hair out. You don't want that in your house. If you don't have a blower, well, it's no better time to get one because they are so nice to have. So I think I'm just touching up a spot here that I missed. You're going to kind of go back over here and there, and that's okay. But you're wanting to kind of just make sure that you've done what you could and clean them up the best that you can. Well, I'm just adding a little bit of show sheen to coconut just to add a little bit of extra dirt repel to her coat. She is a beautiful, beautiful girl. She'll be 5 years old this month and April, and we're so happy that she's in excellent, excellent condition. So if you're interested in adopting a doodle, visit our Facebook page, Michigan Doodle Rescue Connect. You can also find us on Instagram, and you can also visit our website, michigandoodlerescueconnect.org. If you're interested in any of the products that we've used today, go to our Facebook page, into photos, and find our favorite things. Again, thank you so much for watching, and we hope that you enjoyed this video and you learned how to do your doodle. Doodles.